I'm here with the miserable liberal Steph Zamorano, Ron Placone, and Hank Thompson, and we're talking about the new appointment. Trump created a position for Steve Bannon from Breitbart News, right? So, if you know, Breitbart is very extreme right. They've cultivated, racism is the freedom of speech, all that stuff. It's like you got to be able. We do that character, alt-right character on our Saint Himmler. We do him on our show. That's a very fun. That's who these. So this is the guy. This is Steve Bannon, right? So Trump just appointed him chief strategist, and people are freaking out because he's a big racist, anti-Semite, and he's like a scum of the earth type guy, right? And so these are some of the things. MSNBC, of course, is totally outraged by him. But they're not outraged at people cracking the heads of peaceful protesters in North Dakota. Apparently that's okay. Apparently outsourcing jobs to TPP, that's okay too. Apparently that's okay. Overthrowing Libya, Honduras with Hillary, that was okay. Okay. Anyway, but they're upset at this. So this is some of the stuff he said. There's no hiring bias against women in tech. They just suck at interviews. Birth control makes women unattractive and crazy. The solution to online harassment is simple. Women should log off. World Health Organization report, trannies 49 times higher HIV rate.
Somebody's popular at college parties.
And so everybody's freaking out because Trump just hired him as his chief strategist. People are like, now they're putting racists in the White House. So what I try to tell people is racism is in our culture, meaning 40% of the prison population are black men. They make up 13% of the population. We have racism right now, institutional. Our society is racist. Bill Clinton passed the crime bill in 96, 100 times worse penalties for crack cocaine than powder. That's racist. Exploded the prison population, filling it up with black people as they gutted welfare and sent their jobs to Mexico with NAFTA, all at the same time. Racism didn't just start. Racism is codified into our criminal justice system. But we're upset. So everybody's getting upset now because they're not hiding it anymore. Now there's an ugly face of racism as opposed to the nice face of racism that we normally have in the White House. What do you mean Barack Obama was racist? The criminal justice system is racist. Yes. Yes. Barack Obama repealed habeas corpus. Barack Obama made it so the government can throw you in jail without a trial. Barack Obama took away your freedom. Barack Obama did that. And now these guys who are racist, although Barack Obama presided over a criminal justice system that's 100% racist. You heard him screaming about it all the time, except never. And everybody's upset about this guy. Now, here's why. Yes, should this make people uncomfortable that now somebody in the White House is an outward racist? Sure. But here's the deal. You have to quit thinking short term. This is good in a sense that Trump is doing this. Because just like Malcolm X said about Goldwater, he can't hide his hatred for the blacks. Right? Whereas the Democrats could, the white Democrats could. Here, Trump can't help himself. He has to hire this anti-Semite bigot. He can't help himself. And then these guys can't help themselves. So now we have a wolf in wolf's clothing, not a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's why this is. You have to think longer term. In 2 years, there's another election. In 4 years, there is another election. The more repulsive people that Trump surrounds him, these guys are truly repellent to most of the electorate. Guys like John Bolton and Rudy Giuliani and Chris Christie.
All those outsiders.
Right, all those outsiders.
They're outsiders, all right, if we were at a rock and roll concert. Yeah, big right. Outsiders.
Good. And Trump is hiring the Treasury Secretary. He's going to come from Goldman Sachs. There's loose reports today. So they're not outsiders. Trump is immediately turning his back on the people who elected him. But these people are truly repulsive, not reprehensible. Who cares? They're all. I think it's reprehensible that Barack Obama lets them crack the heads of Native Americans, and I think that's reprehensible. You know what I think? But he's not repulsive, Barack Obama. He's pretty. He's got a pretty speaking voice. And so you go, well, it must be okay if Pretty Boy says it's okay. But now when ugly motherfuckers who are ugly on the outside are doing the same things, we're going to go, that's horrible, and we're going to stop it. And we're all going to stand up. Barack Obama, Democratic presidents put half the left to sleep around horrible corporatist policies and racist criminal justice system. So here we are. I'm telling people, stop this. The more cretins that Trump puts in his cabinet, the better. The better. You want to have a complete wave. Remember when George Bush was president? It took 4 years for them to get rid of the Republican Senate. It took 4 years. They were like, okay, we've had it with this guy. And then in 2 more years, they flipped not only the Senate, but the House of Representatives flipped to Democrat. Under 6 years of Bush. Bush, that was during a war. So what we want is for that to happen now. And Trump surrounding himself with people who are genuinely repulsive to most of the electorate is, in a sense, a good thing. I know Cenk Uygur says you win by winning and you lose by losing. You don't win by losing. That's a short game. That's a short game. That's pretending there isn't another election ever. Play the long game. Play a 4-year game with me, because that's what I'm playing. Let's play the 4-year game. Let's play a longer game. Now we have a chance to get the House and the Senate back into real progressives, not these Chuck Schumer bullshit corporatists who are gonna do just what the Republicans do too. I'm talking real progressives. I'm talking Tulsi Gabbards. I'm talking Elizabeth Warrens. I'm talking Bernie Sanders, Nina Turners. People are saying Keith Ellison. I got some problems with him. We're gonna talk about that in another video. But he's definitely one of the better ones. So is the Democratic Party even worth saving? I don't know. That's what the problem is. You still got guys like Chuck Schumer, who's the leader of the Democrats in the Senate. You want to prop that guy up? I don't. Do you want to take back the Senate so Chuck Schumer could be the fucking leader? I don't. We got to get rid of Chuck Schumer. So that's the problem with trying to repopulate the Democratic Party with better people. You still got these pieces of shit hanging around like Chuck Schumer. So I'm telling you, the bigger cretins, the bigger the cretin is that Donald Trump populates his cabinet with, the better for the takeover. Do you understand? So, and after 4 years of George W. Bush, they flipped the Senate during a war. During 2 wars. After 6 years, they flipped the House and the Senate. After 8 years, they flipped the House, the Senate, and the presidency went to a black guy with a Muslim name in the middle of a war. That's what George Bush did. Donnie Tinahan's Trump is 10 times more repulsive to people than George W. Bush was. And this is good. If he was starting to put people in place in his cabinet that were actually agreeable and likable, that would be a problem. That would be a problem, because you're like, oh my God, this guy's going to somehow stay popular enough to get reelected. Oh my God, he's going to somehow they're going to normalize this guy, and he's going to have all these regular people around him. It's better that he does this. It's better he pushed this guy in, and Rudy Giuliani, and Chris Christie, and what other and that sheriff from Milwaukee. The people who are truly repulsive. That is good. So people are like, he better get rid of him. I say keep him. People are thinking way too short term. We have to, now we can oppose their policies, a lot of which the Democrats were doing. Barack Obama, I predict that Donnie Tinahan's going to deport less Hispanics than Barack Obama did. And now there's an uglier face on that policy of deportation. Are you with me? Do you get this? Am I being clear, Ron Placone, Steph Zamorano, Hank is here. Hank, are you guys? Do you understand what I'm saying? I understand the arguments against it. Cenk Uygur says you win by winning. I get that argument. I disagree with it.
Well, we don't have the luxury of having that argument now, do we? Because, Donald Trump is going to be the next president.
We don't have that argument.
You have to think the longer game. Steve Bannon is completely and utterly repulsive. But
what do you think about that idea, though? That actually helps the progressives take over, because he's going to their popularity as an administration is going to be so he's coming in as the most hated guy ever to come in. So do you understand what I'm saying? Like, if he got popular, that would be bad.
Right.
Right?
No, you're absolutely right about that. But we have to think 2018 though. We can't even be thinking just 4 years.
I know.
Because either way, these repulsive people are going to have some power because they have the House and Senate behind them.
Right.
So we have to be.
We have to think in 2 years. So hopefully he gets a couple of more of these guys in his cabinet, and it's easier to take over in 2 years and 4 years. I'm telling you,
I'm just looking for somebody who's for peace.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're not going to get that. Democrats and Republicans are both for war. That's the problem. And that's why I couldn't vote for Hillary Clinton. I couldn't give my vote to war. I couldn't do it. We've had enough war. We've had nonstop war. It's immoral. It's so immoral. I can't even tell you. And it's all for money. It's all for money. It has nothing to do with safety. It has nothing to do with fighting terrorism. It has nothing to do with fighting terrorism. It has everything to do with money and fossil fuels. And that's it. So don't worry. Don't freak out. We're coming.